What's up guys, my name is Walter Fernandez and today we're talking about these two things right here. This is the Canon RP and this is the Cinestill 800T. I've done a video like this previously pitting the Canon R6, which is recording me right now, together with the Cinestill 800T. For context, I am a film and digital hybrid shooter and I mainly do portraits. I'm mainly doing this for myself to kind of better understand how and when to take advantage of these different systems, and also kind of like better understand how I want to develop a style from it for myself. I hope some of you all find this useful. It is really fun to do this for me. If y'all ever consider this workflow, I hope this video could help you. I'd love to show you some BTS footages from like this photo shoot. I had a GoPro strapped on my chest the entire time. It was pure agony, by the way. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but it just didn't record anything. The lights were blinking, but it recorded nothing. Just know that the next time I do this, there'll probably be more footages, like behind the scenes footages from a GoPro strapped on my chest. Unfortunately, not this one. On the digital side of things, I shot the Canon RP, which is a great full frame camera, really nice images, really nice camera, good autofocus, everything. I've covered this in a video I uploaded last week. If you missed that, check it out. I'm just gonna put it right here. Yeah, nothing much to complain about, very nice camera. And on the film side of things, I shot on the Cinestill 800T, obviously. That's what this video is about. And I shot this through a really nice camera. It is the Canon EOS 5, which is a film camera with, check this out, with an EF mount. So what that means is I get really good autofocus and I am also able to use really high quality EF glass on this. The Canon RP, on the other hand, has an RF mount, which is Canon's new mount for their newer mirrorless cameras. However, they have made it really easy to adapt EF lenses with an adapter and get pretty much native performance, like, you know, for the EF glass. So that being said, I was able to share the Sigma 35mm f1.4 RDG HSM lens, which is recording me right now. It has an EF mount. I was able to use this lens on the EOS 5 as well as the Canon RP. I also occasionally busted out the 135mm FD lens for the Canon RP on some of the shots. The film photos that you see here are JPEGs and they were edited by me to kind of like get the look that I was going for. I'll probably scan the films on my own later on just so that I could get a more accurate representation of what I'm looking for, as well as having the raw files is going to make it a little bit better. I think the files are going to be a little bit more flexible to adjust whatever I want to on that end. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the way the JPEG files held up, even after drastically editing on my end. As for the files from the Canon RP, I edited those raw files to emulate my edited final results from the film shots. I was using Canon's DPP4. It's their proprietary photo editing software, which in my experience, it handles the noise and color from the Canon RAW files like way better. Like, it's not even a competition. Like, it's so color separation as well as like the way it handles noise it's so much better. It does, however, come with some drawbacks. The software is just clunky, it's slow, it's difficult to maneuver. Somehow I can't undo more than 2 steps. I also kind of find it playing mind games with me because sometimes I just adjust the exposures a little and then it changes the white balance of the image and stuff. So there was a lot of things that I think are not okay with that software, but the way it handles the files, the end result, it's usually really nice. I genuinely believe that it's like a couple of quality of life changes away from me to just completely get rid of the Adobe system on my end and just switch completely to this Canon software. By the way, if you're a Canon shooter, it's literally free, so just try it out. A couple of key differences when it comes to the whole film versus digital kind of topic would be the process itself. The fact that when you shoot film, you have to be a little bit more intentional because you've got a limited amount of shots in one roll. And when you shoot digital, like, film photographers would think you're just spraying and praying because, you're shooting in bursts and stuff. And when you shoot film, you've got to be a little bit more delicate with the exposure. And, after the whole shoot, you've got to take some time to get the film processed. And then, that itself is another step, another ordeal to get through. And then, people see the delayed gratification as a positive thing for them because it's about the experience. I am here to tell you that I don't care for any of that. I'm more interested and focused on the results. I could really do without all the wait time. I see all those wait times and like the being delicate with everything to be a major inconvenience. But despite that, I still shoot film because I find a lot of like benefits in terms of quality and other stuff that make it still worth it for me to shoot. Most film stocks kind of have a reputation of having pretty good dynamic range but still maintaining a contrasty look. This is probably the most difficult part of emulating the film photos with the digital files. If you want to emulate film, it's less about the color, it's more about the curves. When you do get it right, however, in my opinion, it looks beautiful. Now this becomes a little bit of an issue because the Canon RP is kind of known to not have the best dynamic range amongst the modern day DSLR cameras or mirrorless cameras. But as I said in my last video, if you do shoot like a normal human being, I do believe that it shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's not great, but it's also something you can easily avoid by choosing the way you shoot and understanding the limitations of your gear. But saying all of that, I still found some issues when I was editing the digital files because the files would kind of fall apart pretty quickly when I'm trying to emulate the film files, just because like honestly it could use a bump in like dynamic range, which it doesn't have right now. But I felt like I got it close enough to a point where I felt really comfortable with it. So in conclusion, did it get the job done? Very much yes. Is it perfect? Not really, but nothing ever really is. Now the colors from the scans that I got from this film stock, it was absolutely gorgeous. The lab that I worked with gave me really nice scans. However, I kind of wanted to conform to the whole blue, the light blue and like light pink kind of like color scheme that I was going for, and I should have lit them that way when I was at the shoot. However, I didn't. The idea came after, so it is what it is. I made the most out of it and the files don't look terrible, so that's where I'm glad that it worked out. I would probably be more like careful with like what I want in the next shoot and every shoot after that. So at the end of the day, did I get the job done? Yes. Did I think it was perfect? Again, no. But again, nothing ever really is. The Canon RP's low light performance genuinely surprised me. I didn't expect that from it. Most of these shots are shot at 10,000 ISO with no noise reduction on the luma or chroma side of things. I don't really use noise reduction too much in general anyways, just because I don't like how it softens up the images most of the time. I don't really mind the grain, I guess, because I am pairing this up with film, so naturally it kind of fits well together, sort of. It's different kinds of grain, but it kind of still works in a way. If you're not familiar with the Cinestill 800T films, it's quite grainy in general anyways. It's high ISO film at night, you're bound to get a lot of grain. In reference to the shoot, I think the film grain and the noise kind of like works well with the images anyways. So, by the way, I'm not equating the film grain to Canon RP's high ISO noise before you guys come after me. I'm just saying they kind of work well with the images, so take it for what it is. Now, I'd like to end this video up by telling you why I still shoot film in 2023, despite film prices literally going high above the roof. And also because there are so many of these film vintage presets that claim to give you the film look, which honestly just never looks good. I want to start off by firstly saying that there is no such thing as a film look. I mean, there is, but it's much more subtle than what you think it is. There's no like definitive look that it has. The way film looks is the way you shoot it, the way you scan it, and lastly the way you edit it. That interpretation process gives me the opportunity to kind of define a look that I find desirable. I'd also like to remind you that not all, if most of them anyways, are meant to be looking vintage, and films are not meant to look vintage. They're not meant to look dated. Like, hype is hype, but learn how to use this physical medium to your advantage. Film is meant to capture beautiful images. It's not there to capture dated images, unless that's what you're going for. Digital is meant to be a very good, accurate representation of real life. It's meant to be really accurate and really detailed. My goal is to kind of have the best of both worlds and create something that I feel represents what I look for in an image. Also, if one more damn person gives me ideas to use film presets again. Now, I do have to admit that I do use film presets sometimes, but it's only because they do look good and they kind of work with the image that I'm going for. And most of the time it's just because it's casual stuff and I don't want to spend too much time editing them and stuff. So and also it's because my own presets that I make for myself don't really work out. So that's when I resort to these people's like presets. So if you're ever looking for really nice film presets, I highly recommend the Mango Street presets, the film curves from Mackey, as well as the 606 preset from Floberg. The Floberg preset isn't really advertised as film presets, but the color ones look really like a really beautiful representation of portrait to me, so I really like that. Again, I'll leave the links in the description. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Hit the like button if you like this video. I really hope you like it. I actually really like this photo shoot. Yeah, follow me on Instagram if you want to see the images itself, like the ones that I'm uploading. You know, you can DM me in there as well if you want to start a conversation with me. You could also comment down below if you want to start a conversation with me and maybe start a war and make me use more film presets. Or actually, genuinely, if you actually have good Filmic preset suggestions, it would be nice to try it out. Don't give me one of those like a random like here's how you get the film look kind of things. And lastly, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. As promised, the Canon RP versus Canon M100 video is going to be coming out next week, so I will see you in the next video, hopefully, if you want to see that.